Okay. So now let's start with the loop. Loop, what is loop? So basically loop is like if you have a requirement of executing a code or block of code more than one time. For example, let's say if I want to print something, okay, one time, then I can just go ahead and execute it. Okay, it will be executed. But let's say if I want to execute it 5 times, then I have to rewrite the code again and again. This is not a good programming practice. We should avoid it rewriting the code. So I know that I have to execute it 5 times. So we have a structure called loop where I know that this statement is getting executed every time, right? So I can write this statement inside a loop and this will be running for 5 times. Okay, so loop, you can think of a system where you set something and that system is going to execute that step again and again and again until and unless you stop it. Okay, so we have two types of loop. One is for loop and one is while loop. Okay, in the for loop, what is the syntax of the for loop? So the syntax of the for loop is, first of all, you write the for keyword, then you write a variable name, any name you can use, then the membership keyword, and here you may write sequence or map object, anything. Okay, and then after this you have to give a column, and then you have to write the expressions here. Okay, the indented expression basically you have to write. So expressions you'll be writing here. Okay, now so this is the indented block, correct? So this will be coming at some indentation because these all are written inside this. Now this two statement which you have written, two expression you have written, this will be executed every time when this loop will run. So let's see how this loop works. So let's say if I want to executing a statement 5 times, how I can do that? So I'll be writing for I in range 5. Okay, so you have to pass a sequence which is having a length of 5. So I have taken range 5, that is the best way to take, and then I can write here statement. Okay, now execute this, you'll see that stats is printed 5 times. How it is executed? First time I became 0 from this sequence. Okay, and then it came inside the for loop, it checked what code you have written, it is printing that value stats one time. Went back to the code loop, it took second element, that is 1, and then it printed again for I equal to 1. If you want, you can print every value of I here. So if you see stat 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting from 0 till 4, I is iterating. So basically what is happening internally, I is picking the first element from this range. We know range 5 generates the sequence from 0 to 4. So I becomes 0, it will be coming here, print stats I, which is stats 0. Then go back, I will become 1, stats 1. Then go back, I will become 2, stats 2, and so on till all the elements are exhausted. Once I becomes 4, so it will be printing stats 4. Then it will go back inside the loop, and we don't have any other element inside the loop, further element. So it will exit the loop. And after exiting the loop, whatever you have outside of the loop, that will be printed. Okay, so this is printed once at the end of the loop. Clear? Let's say we can run the loop. Let's say we have a string str1 is equal to Python. So you can run the loop on this sequence also. I said here you can provide a sequence or mapping. I provide the range. I will be writing for I in str1, execute it, and when I'll be printing I, so it is going to print one element at a time. What happened here? So str1 is Python. I is going inside this sequence. I became the first character inside this, that is P. It is printing P. Then going back, next time I will become Y, it will print Y. Then going back, I will become T, it will print T, and so on. Once I becomes N, it prints N, and then it will be going back to the string, and there is no further element after N. So it will exit the loop. I wanted to print this into this format. How we can do that? So let's see this. First of all, we have this string, right? and what we want to do basically, we want to repeat this p by 1 time, y by 2 time, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Basically, I'm repeating it by starting from 1 till 6 times. Okay, so I'll be writing here for I in. Okay, so this I can do in two ways. I'll be writing here str1. Okay, I will become p and all. I'll be starting with j equal to 1. Okay, and I need to repeat it, right? So I'll be writing I star j, and then I'll be incrementing j every time plus equal to 1. Execute it, you'll be getting this. Clear? Now what I did, first of all, I have taken one counter variable. Instead of that, I can take counter. Okay, now counter I have initialized with 1. I know that every letter I have to start repeating them starting from 1 till 6. So total length is 6. So 1 to 6 I have to repeat. So first 1 time, then 2 times, then 3 times, then 4, 5, and 6 times. Okay, so we have got I is equal to capital P. Now P star counter is equal to 1. So repeat P by 1 time, we have got P. Then go back, I will become Y. So Y star counter is equal to 2. Y repeated 2 times because counter is incremented by 1, 2. Now once it is executed, it becoming counter will be incremented by 1. So counter will become 3. Go back, I will become T and T star 3. So it will be repeated 3 times. Then counter will be incremented by 1. Counter will become 4. Go back, I will become H. So H will be repeated 4 times and so on. Clear? So this is one way. The other way to do this is using range function. So I can write for I in range. What I have to do it from okay, so I have to access it using 0, or let me write length of str1. Okay, now I have to repeat it, so I'll be writing str1 of I. It will be giving me p by thon. So first time I will become 0, so str1 of 0 is p. Then go back, I will become 1, str1 of 1 is y. Go back, I will become 2, str1 of 2 is t, and so on. But I have to repeat it. So first time I is 0, but I want to repeat it by 1. And every time, so let's say if I is 0, I have to repeat it by 1. If I is 1, I have to repeat it by 2. If I is 3, I have to repeat it by 4, and so on. So I can repeat it by I plus 1. I plus 1. Execute it, you'll be getting the same thing. Okay. Now let's see what happens when we run the loop on the dictionary. So we have a dictionary is equal to 1 colon 100, 2 colon 200, 3 colon 300, 4 colon 400, and so on. So when I'll be running the loop inside, so why I'm writing I can write anything element in dictionary. Okay, and let me print element. Okay, so when you run the loop on the dictionary, it picks only the keys from this. Okay, when you'll be running the loop, when you'll be printing it, it is printing only the keys. It does not access the value. So if you want to access the value, you can write d of element, and it will be giving you the values also. Okay, key value, key value, key value. Fine. So this is the for loop. Now let's do one thing. Write the code for getting this output using loop. Using loop. So in the input, this dot will be there. In the output, you can ignore this dot. Okay. Okay, so let's see this. What I'm going to do is I'll be taking this string. Okay. Now, okay, fine. So I have not used any method, built-in method. I have just used the loop or the logic. Okay. Okay. I don't wanted to use. Otherwise, I could have just used title and that will give me the output, right? I don't wanted you guys to use the built-in function. Use the loop, only the loop concept or logic. Okay. So I have few questions, similar questions on the loop, and that is using, you don't have to apply the built-in function. Yes, like if you have to append and all those operations if you want to do, then you can use, but don't use built-in function which can do the task in just one stroke. Okay, so don't do that. So try to use the logic for that. Okay, fine. Any question? Okay, so what we did first of all, we have taken my string one, we are taking every character, and wherever is a space, or if it is a dot, then I'm executing this. If it is not a space, then I'm coming here. What I'm doing here, so I'm making output string is equal to Peter. So first of all, I is equal to P. It is not a space, not a dot. So it will become here, output string will become P. Go back, I will become E. So it is not a dot, not a space. So output string will become PE. Then I will become T. It is not a space, not a dot. So output string will become PET, and so on till Peter. Once it will become Peter, I will become a space. This is a space, true. So come here, output list will have Peter inside it. And then I have to make output string empty so that I can have next word inside output string. So I'll make it empty. I'll be coming back. I will become P out of Piper. So output string will become P. Go back. I will become I. So output string will become PI. Go back. I will become P. So output string will become PIP. And so on till Piper. And this way I'll be getting one output list where we'll be having every word. Okay. Once we have it, so we are running the loop over it, and then we are getting the resultant string. In the resultant string, what I'm doing, first of all, I'm getting the first letter of every word. So output list is list of words. I'm getting the first letter of every word. That is, let's say P, 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 A, P, O, P, and P. So I'm getting the first letter. I'm converting it into the ordinal value. That is ASCII equivalent. I'm subtracting 32 out of it. Why? Because let's say A, ordinal value of A, small a, is 97 minus ordinal value of capital F, you'll see. So there is a difference of 32. And so on with small b and capital B, small c and capital C, and small d and capital P, small p and capital P, and so on. So I wanted to convert first letter into the capital letter, so I've just subtracted 32. And after subtracting 32, I've converted into the character. Okay. Once that character, then I am concatenating with the rest of the letter. So J is what? J is Peter. In that I have, this one is converted into the capital letter. Rest all I'm slicing this part and I'm combining it with this one. Combine, then I'm adding it to the resultant string. That's it. And finally I'm printing the resultant string. So we have a number of questions like this. Go ahead and just try to solve it. And I'll stop it here. Okay, so I'll be uploading the solution of int, float, complex, and boolean. Sorry, assignment of int, float, complex, and boolean. Go ahead and practice it. Okay. See this resultant string. What we are doing? Resultant string we have taken. In this, we are first taking the. Okay. So what is J here? J is first. I'm going to be Peter out of the output list. Okay. Okay. Now in that, I'm taking the first letter, that is small p. To convert it into the capital letter, I have to subtract. So if I'll be writing this, let's say if I will be writing this, not J of 0, let's say if I'll be writing small p. So what is ordinal value of small p? Ordinal value of small p we will be getting as 1112. 1112 minus 32, 112 minus 32, if you will do, you will be getting 80. And if you'll be writing CHR of 80, you will be getting capital P. That is what I have done. So first I'm doing ordinal of P, that is 112. 112 minus 32, that is 80. And CHR of 80 is going to give me capital P. That is what I'm getting, capital P plus J of one colon. So J of one colon is what? So J is Peter. Now one colon is starting from here till the end, till R. So we have got that and concatenated it, then we have combined it to the resultant string. Okay. Fine. Okay then. So we'll meet next week. Practice the assignment.